Ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite has announced that late game arena returns soon to Fortnite. There's a lot of things to go over, including will this be arena or will it just be another ranked game mode? Also, what will the loot pool look like, the map, and also when is it coming out? There's a lot of information to uncover in this video, so make sure to like and subscribe and stay till the end. And let me know down in the comments below what you want most for Fortnite's late game arena mode. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Yo, what's going on, guys? If you're new here, my name is Tricky. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to use code TRICKYS, TRICKYS, in the Fortnite item shop. Now listen, guys, when I first saw this, I didn't even believe it, mainly because we haven't seen late game arena in so many years, but it makes sense that they would bring it back just because late game arena was such a good game mode and had great feedback from the community. Now, according to leaks, a lot of people are saying that this will be a limited time mode. However, I wish that it would be permanent. One of the main reasons why is because I loaded into a lot of scrims games, and also I just loaded into one today, and I've noticed that I get griefed every single game and I don't even make it to in-game. And instead, what late game arena would do is put you into a tiny circle with only 60 players. So it's basically like you skip over the entirety of the game and then just go straight into an in-game scenario. But they might have decided to return this to the game mainly because there was a new admin panel that was added into custom matches. This allows you to turn God mode on and off if you are the host, set other players' health and shield, kick players, change the time of day, also pause the storm, change the storm radius, and the storm wait time. But these are the biggest three right here because maybe it would allow Epic Games to make different kind of in-game scenarios based on this storm panel here. And maybe late game arena will be remastered and become even better than what it once was. Now, supposedly, according to Hypex, this will be the 2026 late game arena loot pool. The weapons will be the Nemesis AR, the Iron Pump Shotgun, the Pulse Rifle, Twin Hammer Shotguns, Combat Assault Rifle, the Chaos Reloader Shotgun, the Twin Mag SMG, the Thunderburst SMG, the Super Shredder, and the Vector 7 DMR. Now, the weapons obviously are Chapter 7 themed, which I'm so glad they're not reload themed because this would just be like a different style reload game. And the main reason for having the late game arena mode is to skip over the main battle royales, beginning game and middle game, and just go straight to the end game. So I mean, this is perfect. Just keep the Chapter 7 loot. Also, with the mobility, we have the 7 power gloves, the Skyline deployer, and also the launch pad. Now, I was actually really scared at first because I thought that they would not add the overdrive shockwaves, but they are in the consumables, along with the mini shields, chug splash med kit, all of the fishes, shield potion, flowberry mist grenade, and peppers, which actually really shocks me, along with the pizza. Now, there's a lot of talks about, well, will this have arena points instead of ranked? And sadly, I don't think this will be the case. I could be completely wrong, but just from speculation, like we saw with the recent release and the first rollout of Rank 2.0, we did not get reverted to arena points. However, they did decide to change the rank system. As many of you may know, instead of just going from Diamond to Elite to Champs to Unreal, it's now Diamond 3 to Elite 1, Elite 2, etc. And I think this is mainly the reason why they changed it, is because they're adding different style competitive modes, maybe so that they're able to do more and more tournaments, which I've talked about in the past. That's a great thing. They should do as many tournaments as they can because it gives players a reason to actually play competitive. Now, it's unknown whether it will be solos, duos, or trios, but I'm guessing for the next week, it should be duos because we're currently in FNCS duos. So it'll probably be duos for the first week and then transition on to solos and trios and maybe squads, but squads is just so hectic. But it would be a lot of fun and give a lot of people variety on what they want to play, because I can tell you, based on previous reports with the late game arena mode and how many players used to be on that game mode, they will not have any struggles at all getting players on this game mode. People have been asking for years to bring this back, and I believe they removed it around 3 years ago, and whenever it was reintroduced, it only stayed in for maybe a couple of months. So hopefully now it's a permanent game mode, because it really does help a lot of individual players, help with their competitive practice. Now, I've had a multitude of ideas for this game mode, and honestly, I think a lot of people here would agree with me on this. I think we should be able to have every single chapter's map as a late game arena mode. You could be playing the Chapter 1 map, the Chapter 2 map, and so forth. Or just be able to make this into a custom setting, either pre-game on the admin panel, or just selecting a map. For now, just leave it as the Chapter 7 map, because if we had 7 different maps, it would just be chaotic. But honestly, the potential of this mode long term could actually outlast past multiple of these other game modes such as Reload, mainly because it just has a huge competitive aspect and more of the casuals could go to Reload or just main battle royale. Also, one thing I really hope they don't do is only cap it to like 30 or 40 players, again just like Reload, because it really just wouldn't make sense for the game mode. This is one thing that Fortnite has been really bad at for the past couple of years, is not understanding that every single game mode that they add, including adding UEFN to the game, impacts the entirety of their game in the long term, sometimes positive and sometimes negative. We're really just gonna have to wait and see as well with late game arena to truly understand how much this is going to affect the overall players and where they go, because I think this is one of the main reasons why people have been so fed up with Fortnite Battle Royale for the past couple of years and Fortnite as a whole, is because they're just adding so much stuff. Now let's also talk about the release date. According to Hypex, they already have the loot pool set in stone, which means it's going to 100% come out sometime this year. That either being in the next few months, or it even could come out in a couple of weeks. In my opinion, I hope they polish the game mode to the best of their ability so it's not terrible when it first releases, because arena box fights is just so scuffed. I mean, a lot of people don't want to play it. It seemed like they didn't put a lot of thought process into the actual gameplay side. They did pretty good on the development side, but the actual gameplay side and the thought of it, it really didn't work out, and you might as well have just gone into a creative map. That's why I said every single game mode and everything that you add has a major impact on what you can do in the future, and not even after a week, this game mode is just completely dying, and I don't want to see the exact same thing for late game arena. And a lot of you may be asking, well, there's a lot of in-game creative maps out there that are actually pretty good, but the problem with a lot of these creative maps is that they're super laggy, stuttery, and your frame rate is just terrible. So if you want the best ping possible and the best performance possible, I think it's best that they add late game arena back as a official game mode. Personally, one thing I do remember about this game mode, and staying on the topic of performance, is it feeling just so smooth, and I'm hoping that Epic Games can execute that, because if they're not able to and it's just a laggy mess, then a lot of people are not going to play this. It will still get a lot of hype within the first couple of weeks, but if they are not able to maintain and optimize this game mode to its best potential, then they're really going to miss out on a lot of returning players and also miss out on a lot of money. Also, many people have talked about the arena box fights game mode, and obviously that game mode has just completely flopped, and I think that's one of the reasons they're deciding to add late game arena back, is because they have to stick with older style modes to even be able to compete with other games. I mean, we've seen this so many times with Fortnite OG, and I mean Chapter 2 Remix, just so many times we've seen Fortnite adding older versions of modes to try and keep their player base. But why a lot of people are scared is people are thinking this is just going to be a UEFN map, which I myself have thought of as well. But the only reason I don't think it will be is because in late game arena, it's on the actual battle royale map, and yes, they can fit that into a UEFN map, but it would make sense just to make this its own individual game mode instead of making it just a creative map. And I'm really curious to see how much this will compete with Reload, because these two game modes are so similar but also different in so many ways as well. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, and I'll also leave a pinned comment once we get a full reveal and a release date to keep all up on the news. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also comment down below, again, what are you most excited for late game arena, and also what do you want most in the game mode? I can take a guess of what most people are gonna say, but I just want to hear y'all's thoughts. Anyways guys, it's been your boy Tricky, and I'm out. Peace.